If you grew up in the 90s, you likely remember the commercials with a cartoon kangaroo advertising Dunkaroos, a set of cookies which could be dunked into frosting. This product was discontinued in 2012 in the US, but remained in stores in Canada. General Mills, with the help of the internet, launched their Smuggleroos campaign in 2016, suggesting that Canadian visitors bring the treat to Americans craving them. In mid-2020, Dunkaroos began to show up on store shelves again in the US on a seemingly limited basis. Today, we get our hands on the classic snack before it disappears again and leaves us without the chance to ask, "You tried it?" You Tried Dat. I'm Nick Novak with my pals, Lord Hancock.
Good day to you, sir. A pleasant morrow.
And Nobleman Geiger.
What is up?
Wow. We're great lords.
Wait a minute, I'm a nobleman and he's a fucking lord? What happened here?
Yeah, that's right, bitch.
What's the difference? I don't know.
I don't know.
Nobleman licks the lord's boots. That's the difference.
Oh man, I'm glad you said boots.
I was at Medieval Times just today, actually, for the first time in quite a while, and so you guys know how it works. You get a hat as you go in. I know Medieval Times is it all over the country? Is it out in California, Chad?
There's one in LA. Yeah, I wish there was one near SF because I used to love going to Medieval Times in Chicago. But yeah, the closest one is LA. I think there's like maybe half a dozen throughout the country, something like that.
Okay. So they give you a paper crown as you go in. You sit in this section and cheer for whatever guy comes out.
What color did you get?
I got red today.
Okay. That was always the one I wanted when I was a kid. I don't know why. I think just because I liked red best.
Okay.
Stupid.
He's like the lion. They all have a different animal or whatever. So the red guy, as the story starts to go, it turns out is like the bad guy of the story. Which can be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like cheering, we watched wrestling years and years ago, and it's fun to cheer for the bad guy sometimes. So he's coming around, he's like backstabbing a couple of the other guys, and but it comes down to sort of him and another guy, and the Red Knight walks up to the Queen and talks to like the spokesman who's there and says, "You used to be one of us and used to be tough, and now you're taking orders from a woman?" And of course, and you're like, yeah, yeah, sliding the crown off my head.
You just pull out a yellow highlighter and you're like trying to color over it.
I need to maybe look at the script again.
Right. I was like, oh boy. But then he was fighting, and this dude, I mean, I kid you not, got hit directly in the stomach with a mace, and he got up.
Wow.
And he kept fighting. It was super impressive.
Wow. So, but you don't think he had like a bunch of layers of padding on underneath, right? Like the mace like went clear, it like ripped a hole in his stomach, his guts were spilling out, like that.
I mean, when the mace hit the metal shield, it was a loud bang, which made it clear to me these were legit weapons. So some of the stunt, like everything they do is impressive. Look, like if I had to try to choreograph this crap, it would be a joke. So I'm impressed at all they can do, their horse riding skills, etc.
Yeah.
They're clearly talented dudes. But there's certain things they have to be very careful of. So they'll be jousting, and one guy's supposed to get like knocked off the horse. But that's probably really dangerous to go like rolling backwards off a horse.
Right.
So he gets hit, and then like the horse takes another like 7 strides, and then he leaps off it. And rolls
right. Just kind of leisurely falls off the horse, right?
Rodeo clown style, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is still not something I could do. Let's be clear. Like I couldn't take the joust or jump off the horse or probably even ride the horse in a straight line. None of those things. So.
Did your knight turn after he defeated somebody and be like, you joust like a woman, a weak woman, and also the vaccination is a hoax? He's just like turning around and like staring at the crowd like, for the
we
bubonic
never landed
plague?
on the moon. You, sir. He pointed right at me. I was like,
Doth moon landing was some sorcery.
He turns to the crowd. He's like, shout it with me, crowd. Plandemic. Plandemic. You're just like, oh, Jesus.
sliding under my seat, just further and further back into my chair.
Let it be known from this day forth that all night lives matter. Like, no, they don't. I don't agree with the like, look, they just handed me a hat, guys. Just striding around.
I did find myself
he
like...
really took the red pill this red night.
I did find myself like this guy was a terrible guy who's attacking people without them knowing, saying a bunch of stuff. But as the fight is raging, like the final fight, I'm like, I'm wearing a red piece of piece of paper on my head. I gotta cheer for this guy. and like part of me is like wanting this guy still to win. I'm like, man, this guy stands for everything that is wrong, but why do I need him to win so bad?
Why is being wrong so right?
You're still somewhat hoping that this feel-good kids-based entertainment is going to have the bad guy just slaughter everyone and walk out. Saws the Green Knight's head off and like leaves to a crowd of boos. All right, thank you, folks.
That's the thing, because I have been in the bad guy squad before when I've gone as well, and at least then, I mean, you're not going to win, but at least you'll go far, right?
Right, that's
like,
true.
The worst is if you're like the first night eliminated or whatever, and then you're just kind of like, all right, well, guess I'll just enjoy this chicken in front of me. Like you don't really have anything to cheer for after that,
right.
But did yours? So sometimes when I've seen it, the storyline will twist at the end, where like a knight from an opposing kingdom comes in, and then everybody's supposed to root for like the red and yellow knight or whatever. Like then the whole audience like then turns to be together. Did they do that?
This wasn't. It was. I mean, they did say like this side is allies, like the East, this whole side of the arena. So when it came down to like the last two guys, everyone had someone that theoretically root for. I was telling Geiger before, one of my favorite old stories I remember as a kid was like a masked black knight came in and like took off his mask at the end, and it was a different knight who had died earlier in the program. And I was just like, man, this should win a Tony Award.
Yeah, Novak, we were talking before the podcast started. He was like, it was this great story. I'm like, was it? I was like, or were you 8?
Just the most compelling narrative of all time.
The people across from us were chanting like, Green Knight, Green Knight. And the people in our section were like, build the wall. I was like, oh. This is why we're the Red Knight. I get it now.
You look over and just like everyone around you is just they've given them all costumes that look like that QAnon shaman guy. It's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll wear like this tonight. So who won though? Then like it was red versus whoever.
Red and yellow was the other
guy.
Yeah.
So then did you on the way out like start a fist fight with like some of the yellow fans, like just knock their crowns off their head or something?
Hey pal, I grab his shirt and punch him. There was a knight who did nothing, like just got his ass kicked, because like they'll fight on the horses, someone will get knocked down, and then the knight doesn't go after him, like they both slowly get down and then fight with swords, and then and I just kept thinking like this blue knight, so he kept getting his ass kicked. I was like, he's gonna still kill the other guy at the end because he hasn't done anything good.
Redemption story,
and he then just died. And so I remember seeing blue people, like people with blue helmets later, and I just felt bad for them.
Like laughing at him like Nelson.
The blue knight showed up late for work 3 times or something. Like, Larry, you're gonna lose every event. I'm just telling you right now. Get out there and get your ass kicked.
The Blue Knight was out sick. That was like his understudy for sure. That he didn't even get a single redeeming thing. Like
he was just waving his arms. He clearly had no idea what the choreography was.
He's like clanging into everybody.
Black and White was like, "Fall the fuck down, Tim."
He's like going after the squire. He's like, "It's Tim. Leave me alone." He's like ducking. He's over there. So stabbing the other knight's horse. No, that's a real horse. You can't do that. He's not in on it.
Jeez. How was the food?
Food was great. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. They keep the lights really dark so that I can't see, but it just
really
tastes better because you're there. Like if you went to La Francais and they served you that stuff, you wouldn't think much of it. But because you're there, it tastes really good. The chicken is good.
$400 a plate to just like rip the chicken apart with your hand and drink tomato soup straight from the bowl or whatever it is.
I mean, it is a place like the kids were there and enjoyed it. And if I didn't have kids, I might feel a little. We have gone, the three of us, together as adults.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
So maybe we would still enjoy it, but I think like seeing the kids enjoy it, and a lot of the things are like time killers because the guys can't come out and fight. It's not 2 hours of them just fucking sweating. Like, get back out there, Tim. He's like, I can't breathe on this. I got too much fucking shit on me.
Yeah, they have like tests of skill, right? That I think are like not staged, right? Like they'll actually have like who can joust the target the best, or like.
But then they also just have like a guy riding a fancy horse, like prancing around, and they have the falconer come out.
Right. Yeah.
Fancy horse guy was boring. I remember.
Yeah.
Our Red Knight didn't like fancy horse guys. Like, there's only two kinds of horse riders, and that's it. There's no fancy horses allowed.
I do remember. Do you guys remember when we all went together as adults, and they were like, they're posing? You can sign up to have pictures taken or whatever. And I have it. It's like right over there, the picture with like the woman who's supposed to play the princess.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that, like, I turned to her at the time, and I was like, "Oh, it's a princess? Looks like you're ruling the country like a woman." And she didn't really appreciate that.
The scripter is like, and added that line.
Accurate to the time period.
I always thought it was weird that there was a red knight and then a red and yellow. Like, couldn't they just make them yellow? Like, why?
I thought that was weird too. Like, there's 4 solid ones, and then one of them's red and yellow, and one of them's black and white. It's like there's other colors, dude. Like, where's the purple knight or what? Like, there's a whole rainbow. You don't have to have the stripes. I don't get that. Seemed lazy to me.
Yeah.
Just
make them yellow.
Like they only wanted to buy 4 colors of ink for their printers or whatever, something like that.
They had a laser jet ink printer or whatever, and only had the 4 different cartridges.
Yeah.
All right, medieval times. None of the snacks we're eating have anything to do with medieval times. But let's eat them. We eat 3 snacks, rate them on a 5-point scale. Love dat, like dat, indifferent to dat, dislike dat, and hate dat. Let's eat the Dunkaroos because we're not going to win. The Dunkaroos. Now, did you guys eat these as a kid? Do you remember eating them?
I don't think I did. They do not ring a bell at all.
I probably did.
Were they always... Is this a different shape, though, than what they used to be? Like, were they always a disc with a D, or were they, like, kangaroo-shaped? Or am I, like, imagining that?
I think they were different before. I agree. I think they... Because these are just a really small...
It just looks like a nickel, basically. Like, size of a nickel.
If you look at the non-D side, it looks like one of those church wafers they give you.
Yeah.
Like, now this is... I think when I did have them as a kid, it was the chocolate frosting. This is the vanilla cookies with vanilla frosting with rainbow sprinkles.
And it just looks like cum.
It's straight up
really,
gooey cum. Yeah.
Complete with the rainbow sprinkles that we all have in our cum.
Oh my God.
This is so bad.
Fucking nasty.
Like they brought
The frosting has turned.
What? They asked people to smuggle this over the border? To what end?
Because people like wanted these they're backed by popular demand or whatever. I'm gonna try just the cookie without that frosting.
It's made by Betty Crocker, oddly enough.
Ooh, boy.
Ugh.
Ooh, Nelly.
That cookie, did you guys try the cookie without the frosting? Yeah. It's like, is it worse? I don't know.
It's like it reminds me of the McDonald's shortbread cookie. It's just like the cookie's innocuous enough.
That's to eat a vanilla cookie with vanilla frosting.
Is there chocolate versions of these? Or is it only just vanilla?
There's definitely chocolate. Now, Have you seen sprinkles? I have like a couple of like big giant red things in there.
Yeah, I had like a red one and a green one near the top. And
they're way bigger than sprinkles.
They're like balls, yeah.
Non-Periels, is that what they're called?
Yeah, maybe. Ugh.
All right, Geiger.
Oh boy, these are great. Now, these are real bad. These are disgusting. I mean, it's like sticking a piece of cardboard into a vat of cum. It doesn't taste like cum, I would presume, but it's just like it's like shitty. All right, take your word for it. It's like shitty like cake frosting that has the consistency of Vaseline. It's really gross, and the cookies aren't good. Yeah, the best usage for this is if you were in a real pinch. I guess you could lube with this stuff. But other than that, you couldn't. Try it.
Too many sprinkles, I think.
Yeah,
the sprinkles ruin it.
The sprinkles make it ribbed for her pleasure.
Yeah. I will one of those up your urethra.
Oh God, that sounds problematic. These Dunkaroos, this is an easy hate that. These are disgusting. These are gross. These are bad. I have zero idea why this would be some sort of clamored for food, and I can't believe unless again maybe they just tasted different when we were kids, but I somehow doubt it.
Yeah, that thing was called the Smuggleroo, the campaign. Smuggle the food over the border.
Oh boy.
Lame. I think. I mean, he had a good point when you said Novak. I think that like vanilla is just. It's a very Blue Night flavor combination to have here for this, right? Like, there's nothing exciting about this, and actually, the cookies by themselves are really bad because they're bland in a disgusting way, if that makes sense. And I almost prefer them with the frosting, even though the frost is disgusting, because it's like just like I just want to taste something. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
But even then, when you do taste it, it's really gross. I tried it with the sprinkle too. That added nothing. Like, I didn't even get any extra consistency from the sprinkle because of the cookie. Like, dominates the consistency there. These are terrible. They're not foul. Like, I could see why somebody might like them if they had some extreme nostalgia for them or something like that. But I could never recommend these to anyone. Hate that.
Yep.
Well, I'd like to thank you guys for saying what needed to be said, because there's a D on the front of all these cookies, but it should be an F, because these are awful. It's one of the worst things I've had on this show in a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to eat another one. I'm going to agree with you. We're going to open the show with the flaming bag of dog shit. 3 hates. They're really, really bad.
D for dog shit.
I passed by them in the store and they were 50 cents a piece for these packages.
Too much.
Yeah.
Got ripped off.
And there's a bunch of cookies in it, actually.
Mm-hmm.
If you could somehow get through them. Okay, let's do the Jackalope Paw next.
All right.
So these, Chad, why don't you explain these? Because they came from your brother.
Yeah, so our other 2 snacks we're going with a very loose definition of the term snack. as a reaction to how terrible those Dunkaroos were, I think. But basically, there's a candy shop called Candy Land in like Golden, Colorado, where my brother works, and he's been insisting like he really wanted us to try a couple things that were like fresh from that candy shop. So he sent us one of the. We're gonna try these other two here, but the first one is this Jackalope Paw. I don't know actually even know what the hell this is. Other than it looks like a pretzel with some chocolate and caramel on it. But I don't know if there's like other stuff there.
Looks like a chocolate covered pretzel with like the holes filled with caramel and like a white like frosting like drizzled on top.
But it's almost not fair because these were, I think, fresh baked this week, and he just shipped them to us. And the Dunkaroos were fresh baked this 1,000 years.
The Dunkaroos, I was looking at this. On the front, it says contains bioengineered food ingredients, which is always an alarming warning.
That's a conspiracy.
Red Knight doesn't believe in those bioengineered food stuffs.
Red Knight comes out at intermission. Also, just so you know, chariot fuel does not melt steel beams. Just walk back in. Like, stop going off script. Like, just yelling at him.
And watch out for joust trails. I don't know. Supposed to be chemtrails. Didn't really work.
These are
You gotta work through
significantly better than the last.
They don't taste like something that came out of my urethra.
A very big pretzel. I don't even think like this particular size pretzel. I've never seen it like packaged at this size, this particular size. So it's normal pretzel shape, but pretty thick versus something you might that's store bought. And the pretzel is actually pretty soft. I thought it was going to be a bit harder. So the pretzel tastes pretty fresh to me. Chad, what do you think?
I liked it more at first, but I think the problem is the caramel. Actually, I don't think this is the best caramel. It tastes a little burnt, just a little bit, and I think there's a little bit too much caramel because the way it's situated, right? If the caramel was sort of more evenly spread throughout the pretzel, I think it would work a little bit better. But you just have these big puddles of caramel in the pretzel holes, so you end up getting these these mouthfuls of just like a ton of caramel. Then it kind of sticks in your teeth, and it's just a little overwhelming in that sense. The rest of it is fine. The pretzel's fine. I think I would also like it maybe a little bit saltier. I don't know if it's not salty enough for me. So they're pretty good, but I'm not sure I'm actually going to finish it, and I definitely don't think I would buy it again. So I think I'm actually going to give it an indifferent to that. I don't think I can go to like in this. It's probably a high level indifferent if such a thing exists. But yeah, that's where I'm going to land on this.
All right. This thing it has the benefit of following the Dunkaroos. To take that into account.
Which could be said about like literally anything we were trying.
Right.
all the food the rest of my life will taste better now that I've had a Dunkaroo.
It tastes good. The pretzel is soft. It's flat like the world. And
Red Knight really got you, huh?
I think I generally don't like chocolate with pretzels, like a Take 5. Sometimes I'll get as a gift around the holidays those pretzel rods covered with chocolate and sometimes those sprinkles on them. That's something I see a lot. I don't like those at all.
Yeah.
I generally will just completely pass on them. So I'm actually surprised at how much I sort of like this. I agree that the caramel's maybe a bit too much, but I'm going to slide it up into a low level like that. I could see Chad doing the indifferent. I think it's right in that range. So, Geiger, which way are you leaning?
Yeah, but I'm right in between you guys. I guess I'll lean toward a like that too, but not like a strong one. I think I was kind of thinking it was going to be too much salt, like because caramel can be salty. Plus, you got the salt from the pretzel. But I was surprised, like Chad said, it really wasn't salty at all, and I kind of wish it almost was a little bit. And I agree. Like the chocolate was fine, and the pretzel was just kind of there for structure. It didn't really do anything other than have some like different texture, but didn't really taste anything. It was just kind of chocolate and then this big old hunk of caramel to work through. So it's still fresh and well made, and it's not a Dunkaroo. So I'll give it a like that. But it's not like I would not fly out to Denver or wherever, not Denver, but Colorado to go get it.
All right. So it is the leader, but the pregame favorite still to come after the segment.
All right. So we just tried a jackalope paw. So jackalopes themselves, you guys know what an actual jackalope is like a rabbit with deer antlers on it, basically. And so I was checking out like
fake news,
the jackalope Wikipedia page, and it's actually a jackalope is classified as something that's a larger group called, quote, fearsome critters. And so I'm going to read you real quick the Wikipedia definition of fearsome critters. It says, in North American folklore, fearsome critters were tall-tale animals jokingly said to inhabit the wilderness in or around logging camps, especially in the Great Lakes region. Fearsome critters were an integral part of oral tradition in North American logging camps during the turn of the 20th century, principally as a means to pass time or as a jest for hazing newcomers. So there's something like over 25 fearsome critters cataloged in Wikipedia. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a fearsome critter, and then I'm going to read you 3 possible definitions of the fearsome critter. And you guys have to guess which is the real definition from Wikipedia of that fearsome critter. And then the other 2 I made up.
So the other 2 are not fearsome critters, just one is a fearsome critter.
Well, the other 2 are either something I made up completely or a definition I copied from another fearsome critter that's not in this quiz.
Gotcha.
Because I was starting to have trouble coming up with more wild definitions. And you could both answer for each one here.
Okay.
So I've got 10 total. All right. So we'll start a little easy, I think. So the first one here is called the axe handle hound. Okay, axe handle hound. So here's the 3 definitions. A beast that reputably subsists on axe handles left unattended. A dog whose head resembles an axe handle. A creature that smells like Axe body spray. So, Novak, why don't we start with you?
Jesus Christ!
Each one I was like, that there's no way, that's definitely not it. And then the next one, no way, that's definitely not it. And then when you said the last one, I'm like, that's just a complete joke. So I'm not sure which one it is. One of them is that feasts on axe handles, and one that looks like an axe handle, right?
Yes, right. And one smells like Axe body spray, which was a popular thing during loggers around the turn of the century, as we know.
I don't know what looking like an axe handle means.
It's just like a wooden stick, I guess, right?
Long and thin, like a stick, like a wiener dog.
I'm going to say feasts on axe handle. I don't know. Maybe this was written in the medieval times.
All right, Geiger, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, yeah, you both get that one. That was that's the correct one. A beast that subsists on axe handles left unattended. All right, let's see what you guys think of this one. Number 2.
All right,
the hide behind. So this is either a creature with a very tough hide on its behind. B, an animal that seizes loggers and devours them. The animal was said to be so swift that it could hide behind the nearest tree before being seen. Or C, a beast known for hiding behind you in order to tap you on the shoulder and then run away quickly. Geiger, what do you think?
Gotcha. So
That's
one's
the Yellow
just
Knight.
annoying. All right, so it's It's
one
hides
is like
behind
a tough,
tree and
a
attacks.
tough hide on its behind. One is
Right.
hide behind the tree and attacks, and the other one hides behind you and taps you on the shoulder.
I don't know why it would be frightening to a logger that some animal just had a real rough ass. Like, I don't know, like that. They're like, that's a durable ass. Be careful. I don't know.
It's gonna sit on you real hard.
So I can think we can eliminate that one. I am gonna say it hides behind the trees, or that middle one, the second option.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only one I made sense to me too. I'm going with that.
Okay, yeah, that's right. You guys both got that one.
Wow, we know our fearsome
guys-
creatures.
We
No,
are
you're
a couple of
fearsome
fearsome critters right here.
All right, get a little bit harder here pretty soon. All right, number 3, the tea kettler. So, this is a small variety of vermin whose blood tastes like Earl Grey. Or is it a small variety of vermin that resembles a tea kettle? Or a small variety of vermin that makes a noise like a tea kettle? Novak, what do you think?
I'm going to do a critter that resembles Earl Grey, the man who's named after the tea. No, I'm going to say the last one that sounds like a tea kettle.
A noise like a tea kettle.
Yeah.
Geiger, what do you think?
Again, why are these frightening to loggers?
Well, not all of them. Some of them were just like, I think, jokes that they made up.
You said they were
jest and stuff.
fearsome. You said several times.
Well, that is the name is Fearsome Critters. That's
well, you
true.
think
That's
the
name of
tea's
this
ready.
segment.
You hear a noise. You walk in. Here's this fearsome critter.
Sitting on its tough
And you're
ass.
You're like, I thought I was gonna have tea, and you're all scared.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't get your tea.
I will actually go with the T sound as well. Number 3. I'll copy
The T sound. Okay, again, yeah, you guys lockstep, and you both got it there. All right.
Wow.
All right,
It's
here we go.
crushing it.
Nice work,
Very
Geiger.
Yeah, you too,
All
buddy.
right. Number 4, the Goofus bird. The Goofus bird.
This is me.
So, is this a backwards flying bird that builds its nest upside down? A hummingbird with wings that sound like laughter when they flap? Or a vulture with a bell affixed to it, the ringing of which is cited as an omen of ensuing hijinks? Geiger, what do you think?
Oh,
This is the hardest
boy.
one yet.
Yeah, these loggers just didn't have Netflix or something, right? Like, they're just real bored.
They couldn't write compelling narratives like the one that you find at medieval times. So
Yeah.
They just had to spin these other tall tales.
The Goofus bird pulls off its mask, and it was like the tough-ass bug beetle or whatever the fuck from two things ago.
Today's Medieval Times, written by Steven Soderbergh.
All right, so I'm sorry. Bird flies backwards, builds a nest upside down. Vulture with a bell that imparts that you're going to have some hijinks, and then
A hummingbird with wings that sound like laughter when they flap.
I will do the hummingbird.
Okay,
That's what I was going to say. Let's stay together.
All right. Well,
You
it
and
was
me.
a backwards flying bird that builds its nest upside down.
Oh,
That was my second
that's-
choice.
That's pretty goofus. So
There is no gallant bird here to compare it to, I guess. So. All right. Here's the next one. Whirling Wimpus. Whirling Wimpus. So, is this one a creature that resembles a large boulder and will attack its prey by rolling down the hill and squashing them unsuspectingly? Is it a legendary cat of the Pacific Northwest that uses its incredible speed and stiff forehead to smash into large trees, knocking the branches off and withering the trunks? Or
Stiff
A-
forehead.
or a gorilla-like monster with large arms and horse-like hooves with the ability to spin around into a small tornado to catch prey, similar to Taz of Looney Tunes fame? Novak, what do you
wait,
think?
what was the name of it again?
Whirling Wimpus.
Whirling Wimpus. I kind of thought the first one, but that name doesn't fit the
Large boulder that rolls down the hill and squashes him unsuspectingly.
right. And the second one was a cat that runs into trees and stuff.
got a stiff
Yeah,
forehead.
basically.
With a stiff
Smashes
forehead?
trees. Yeah. And the third one is Taz of Looney Tunes fame.
And the fourth one was a knight that runs backwards and thinks the government shot JFK. Is that right?
And the fifth one was a bird that makes tea kettle sounds, but sounds like a female tea kettle. That was the fifth one.
I was gonna pick any of the first
boy.
two, but because of where I'm going with the name this time, and I'm going with the last one with
The Taz of Looney Tunes fame.
Because
Okay.
I know you. That sounds like some shit you put in, but I'm still.
I mean, he was grinning as he said it.
I
so
know
I
he was
really don't
grinning as
know
he
if I
said
trust
it. I don't think it's right. I'm
maybe
going to
he's trying to
switch
look
because
such a
I
look like
can't
an
because
asshole.
of that stupid grin.
Uh-huh.
I'm going back to the first one, the rock
Okay,
or
you're-
whatever.
Okay, the boulder. Geiger,
He's
what do you
got
think?
that shit-eating Wimpus grin on his face.
Uh-huh.
Whirling Wimpus. Why am I saying the name like that's going to give me some insight? Let's break down the etymology of the name. Whirling Wimpus is me trying to throw a sandbag, right now. I am actually going to go. Which one did you wind up with, Boulder or Cat?
He went with the boulder.
I'm actually going to say we're going to diverge one time. I'm going to say Cat with the stiff, because a stiff forehead is such a weird way to define something that I don't think Chad would have made that up.
That's a fine call.
I didn't make up the stiff forehead one. It was the definition of a different fearsome critter that's not in this quiz. It's actually Taz of Looney Tunes fame.
No!
I should let you be, Novak. My bad.
It's on the Wikipedia definition for this fucking thing. All right, but that's okay. You're still tied at 3 apiece. Here we go.
All right.
Glowacus.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Whip out the
is
Glowacus and attack us.
Is this an animal resembling a mixture of a lion, boar, or bear? Is this a beast that enjoys whacking trees with large sticks? Or is it a feline similar to a mountain lion, except with a long tail with a bulbous end used for striking its prey? Geiger, you're up.
Similar to Daffy Duck of Looney Tunes fame.
The first one just resembles 3 completely different animals.
And it said a lion, boar, or bear. Not and.
It could be both.
It's pretty far away. I couldn't really tell.
I think it was Doug. All right, so it's an amalgamation of animals. Lion with a whip for a tail. And what was the middle one?
A beast that enjoys whacking trees with large sticks.
Beast that enjoys whacking. Whacking.
The Glowacus.
The Glowacus. I think that sounds a bit on the nose. I am going to go with cat that knocks trees over with its tail.
Okay. Novak, what do you think?
Yes. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's the one I was going to do, too.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, wait. Yes.
Double yes.
It is actually an animal resembling a mixture of a lion, boar, or bear.
It's just lazy. That's a lazy legend. That's just...
Well, if you think Wikipedia definitions can be lazy, wait till you hear this one. And remember, this is exactly, the one of these that is correct is exactly what is written on the Wikipedia page. So here we go. This one is called the Side Hill Gouger. Here we go. Is it a bird inlays square eggs, prevent roll? Is it an animal legged for hillsides, having legs on one side taller than the other, thus always it to travel on hillsides? Or is it large and hairy bear-like entity, various other descriptions?
Was this translated to Japanese first and then back?
What do you think, Noah?
Side Gouger.
What was the name of it?
Side Hill Gouger.
No, you said it's super lazy, so I want to go with various other descriptions. But that one had the least to do with Side Hill something. But I'm still going to go with it based on what you were saying about lazy descriptions. So I'm going
large and hairy bear-like entity,
yeah.
Various other descriptions.
The other one is mismatched legs and square eggs.
Yes.
Yeah,
A bird inlays square eggs, prevent roll.
Prevent egg roll? All right. So
a bear walk on 2 legs, cause 5G radiation.
Lay square eggs to stop steal. I am gonna go with. I'm gonna go with the old short leg. I'm gonna go with the middle option.
Okay. That is correct. It is the one with legs one side taller than the other, thus always it to travel on hillsides, shot JFK. So yeah, that's. But the other two, large and hairy bear-like entity, various other descriptions, was one of the other ones, and then the bird that lays square eggs to prevent them from rolling is also a real one. But then I took it and like butchered the grammar.
Gotcha.
All right, so we Geiger's in the lead here, 4-3, with 3 to go here. So this one is called the Gumbaroo. Gumbaroo.
Is it the early Dunkaroo?
I think so. So is this a crocodile creature with no mouth and huge nostrils? The creature uses its tail to pound loggers into a gaseous vapor, which it then inhales for sustenance. It is the size of a small dog with waterproof fur. It has hands similar to a monkey's, both on its arms and on its tail. Or a rare hairless bear-like creature with nearly invulnerable skin. The animal's hide repels anything fired at it, but fire causes it to combust in a massive explosion.
Whoops. A little design flaw.
Bear bomb in the woods.
What do you think, Geiger?
So gator that turns people to gas and huffs the gas. So basically a big huffer doing whippets in the forest. Bear bomb and a hairless dog that thinks 9/11 was an inside job.
Waterproof dog, waterproof fur, with hands similar to a monkey's on arms and tail.
Gotcha. Bear bomb. Bear bomb is so funny. I want it to be true. I'm going bear bomb. Just picturing this bear just, oh no, there's fire, blows up in the middle of the woods.
Mushroom cloud. Just
I actually yelled to Red Knight. I was like, "Is Illuminati real?" And he's like, "Does a bear combust in the woods?" And I'm like, wait, what was the one you picked? The third one?
yeah,
Yes, bear bomb.
All right, second one. I don't fucking know.
It's not bear bomb. I know it isn't.
Geiger gets a point. It's the bear bomb.
Bear bomb.
All right, 2 to go. You need both of these, Novak. Here we go.
All right.
All right. Next one is called a squonk.
What was that?
Squonk.
Come again?
Squonk. Squonk. Is this an animal saddened by its deformed countenance, cries incessantly, and will even dissolve into tears if seen?
Ooh, I might be a squonk.
A feline of the American Southwest with hair-like thorns that intoxicates itself by the consumption of cactus water. Or an animal similar to a moose with stiff, jointless legs and a large upper lip, preventing it from grazing or lying down. Novak, what do
I'm
you
going to
think?
go with the crying one.
Cries incessantly.
Yeah,
What was
The
the middle
Geiger.
one again?
the guy.
The Geiger.
No, that's the
Geiger.
cries incessantly. That's the Blue Knight. The middle one was the feline of American Southwest with hair-like thorns that intoxicates itself with consumption of cactus water.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, okay. So it is the crying one.
Ah,
So Novak gets a
Really?
point
I'm
there.
in it. All right.
You're
Yeah,
in
it's
it.
good. Guy, you got to go first because I can pick something different.
okay.
Yeah. All right. Last one. And then if we have a tie, I have a tiebreaker. Here we go.
Okay.
So, agropelter. Agropelter. So, is this a wolf with a beautiful pelt that resembles a field of wheat? Or
Sounds real aggro.
Yeah.
agriculture?
Agriculture, man.
A beast that amuses itself by hurling twigs and tree branches at passersby. Or a snake that can reassemble itself after being cut to pieces or break apart when hit with something. What do you think, guys?
So wolf with a field of wheat, guy who chucks sticks at people, and snake that can reassemble.
Right.
I'll go throwing twigs at someone.
Okay.
So, Novak, if you're going to go different, that gives you a wolf with a pelt that resembles wheat and a snake that can T-1000 itself, I guess.
John Connor, come with me. What? Snake's just writhing on the ground.
I can't pick the wolf and wheat. If I lose because it's wolf and wheat, then so be it. I'm going to go with the snake.
Well, it's not wolf and wheat, but it is a beast that hurls twigs and tree branches at passers-by.
That's literally one of the few that has a
about
literal name. Yeah.
What was the tiebreak?
There's an animal called a hoop snake, and I was going to have you guys both give me a definition of the hoop snake, and we'll see. And I was just going to give the point to whoever was closest.
What is the actual?
The actual definition is of a snake with bites its tail to enable it to roll like a wheel.
Oh.
The name's kind of on the nose there.
That's going to be great to have Chad somehow judge that one of us was closer to saying that sentence.
All right, it's a hoop colored snake.
All right, so that was Fearsome Critters.
All right, let's move to our last snack. It's the Decadent peanut butter chip cookie. Now this thing, look, this is the snack designed and sent to us from someone who really wanted to get 3 loves. Right? This thing on paper has it all.
Yes.
Right? This is just a 10 by description and by looks. It's a very large, round, soft-looking cookie. The bottom is completely covered in chocolate. I'm expecting, and I do think I'm going to be a little harsher on it because of that. I'm expecting a home run here.
This is a cookie. If I worked into a bakery and I saw this cookie, 100% I would buy it just to try it. So there aren't actually chocolate chips in it. It just has peanut butter chips in the cookie, and it's a peanut butter cookie, right? With the chocolate layer on the bottom, and then chocolate stripes across the top.
Hold on while I just polish off this light snack. Cookie the size of a dinner plate.
Great for while you're driving on a road trip.
As long as you're driving in Colorado to a specific bakery.
This is very hard to rate.
All my road trips take me through Golden so that I can drive while I eat this.
I hate having to go first here.
It is hard to rate because it's like, it would be like if I said, okay, everybody like whip up a fresh chocolate cake and like, let's rate that on our snacking podcast. You know what I mean? Like it's not really what we normally do.
I love peanut butter cookies. Love them. And a peanut butter cookie that has, let's say, chocolate chips mixed into it is dynamite. Right? Even if it has peanut butter chips and chocolate chips, I don't think this is the best way to add chocolate to this cookie. I think it's being hurt by the bottom being a complete layer of chocolate. It makes it a little messy to eat, a little more messy because your hands get full of chocolate. It's not, look, it could overcome that, but I think this really had to hit it out of the park for me to give it a love because it had so many advantages coming in that I'm just going to give it a like that. This isn't something I would seek out this bakery if I lived close and make sure I was going in to buy it regularly. And I felt that way about a number of cookies. I think it could be, and it traveled across the country. So I think it could be a little softer and more of a chew than a crumble. This is more of like a crumbly cookie, which is okay, but I prefer a chewier cookie. So I'm just going to give it a like that. It is good. Look, I would have no problem eating both of these things and not blinking an eye, but I'm going to give it a like that. I may or may not ruin a basket of puppies, but we'll see, Geiger.
You won't on my accord. I mean, like you said, it's a very good cookie. It's very well made. The peanut butter cookie is good. My problem more is less with the chocolate on the bottom and the chocolate on top. Then I don't understand why you put peanut butter chips into it when it's a peanut butter cookie. It's a hat on a hat. Like put some chocolate chips in there, or put some, and then maybe you wouldn't have to layer the bottom like you said, so it wouldn't be so messy. Or like put something else, another flavor, like nuts or something. I don't know, but like the peanut butter chips kind of melt into the peanut butter cookie, and I don't really taste a distinction. So it is very good. It's not a love that, but it's a solid like that. These are great. I will eat both of them probably right now, but they are. It's a giant ass cookie, but they're very good. But yeah, I don't think quite to the level of a love that, and probably also like you said, because it like seemed so teed up for one that I may be grading it on a bit of a curve. Also because it is like not some snack, right? It's like a freshly made bakery product, not like a grandma's cookie out of a wrapper or something where you'd expect a lower quality anyway.
And look, that said, Dave, please feel free to keep sending me this sort of food. Because I do really enjoy eating it. It's basically, unless Chad completely tanks this, it's going to win. Chad, what do you think?
I think I'm in line with you guys here, and I actually don't think we're grading this on a curve. I don't. Look, I went into it with very high expectations, but I think it is fair to have very high expectations for a peanut butter and chocolate snack of any kind, especially a cookie. This is a very good cookie, but the thing that Novak said that really resonated with me the most is that with a peanut butter cookie, it has got to be soft and chewy. It cannot crumble like this. And I actually think that is the biggest flaw. I think it could overcome the chocolate on the bottom, which should be chocolate chips instead of a whole layer of chocolate. It absolutely should be. Or just the chocolate drizzle on top or something, but not a continuous layer of chocolate. It's a little too much chocolate. It could overcome that if it was like really nice and soft and chewy peanut butter cookie. Because the flavor is there. It is a good flavor. But that crumble just really, really kills it. Like, I think it's a good peanut butter cookie, but like I've had many more better peanut butter cookies, in my day. So this is just going to get a like that for me. It's still the best thing we ate today by far. This is like the anti Dunkaroos basically. Mm-hmm. But it's not going to get a love that for me because of those flaws that we mentioned.
And a welcome visitor fairly. We all would welcome this cookie into
great
our house
cookie.
with
It's
open
a great
arms.
Cookie.
Mm-hmm. I actually think, and maybe you guys disagree, but a good peanut butter cookie doesn't need anything else attached to it. Doesn't need chocolate. Doesn't need a chip of any kind, a peanut butter chip or whatever. I think a really good peanut butter cookie can stand on its own.
Absolutely, I agree. I mean, I'm never going to turn down adding chocolate to something, but like I will house like a bunch of really good peanut butter cookies. Even if they're just plain peanut butter cookies. It's a great way to have a cookie.
Yeah. All right, Geiger, where can listeners contact us?
If you are the Blue Knight and just need to commiserate a little bit, maybe we can give you some tips on how to joust. Who am I kidding? I don't know how to joust. If you are the Red Knight and you just want to espouse more of your fringe theories, let's say. If you...
Are they fringe though? Are they?
No, unfortunately, you're unfortunately more mainstream than I'd prefer theories. If you ever worked at medieval times, straight up, I would love to. You can come on the pod and tell us all kinds of dumb shit that happens at medieval times. It'd be hilarious. But if you just have went there, you're not special. Don't join. And if you have any thoughts on bakery cookies, peanut butter cookies, or if you like Dunkaroos, probably just go see somebody about it. And then if all else fails, you can reach out to us to suggest new snacks. Tell us what you thought of our ratings, ask questions for the mailbag, all that good stuff. You can reach us at youtrydat@gmail.com. We have a Twitter page, #YouTriedThat. We're on Facebook with a You Tried Dat group, and we are on YouTube and Instagram, and we would love to hear from you. We would love you to listen. We'd love you to tell everyone you know to listen, and thanks as always for listening if you are right now.
All right, so let's say you guys are medieval times performers, and they're all using different weapons, right? Which is sort of the coolest medieval weapon? You've got the standard sword. There's the mace. There's the one that's like a long staff, but it's like the executioner's kind of thing, like the curved blade at the end. I guess it's just like a lot, like a axe, like big axe thing on a long stick.
Like
some
guys
using
or
that.
something they call it. Or...
Yeah. There's probably some other ones I can't think of. So what?
Some people use axes, but my favorite that I always thought was the most impressive was the Morning Star, which is like the mace but with the chain connecting the stick and the ball. Was anybody using that one when you were there?
That's a good one.
I gotta look that.
I always thought that was super cool because they spin it over their head, and then like it always makes like the loudest freaking clang when it hits the shield and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called, Morning Star.
I'm looking it up now. Morning Star weapon. Oh, it's just like a.
It's just a mace with a chain at the end of it, and with the balls on a chain.
Yeah. Someone was using that. That's right.
Yeah, that was always my favorite to watch, I think.
Yeah, it's like the medieval version of like the nunchucks.
Right. Yeah, right. I feel like that one takes the most kind of skill, right? Like any asshole can swing a sword.
That's probably why I would pick a sword, because I am just an asshole and I don't want to have to practice
any asshole like Geiger could swing a sword.
My favorite medieval one was I was like pretty well heralded medieval athlete. I used a Gatling gun and took very little skill. No one else had a gun on the other side of the arena. Just mowed them all down.
Yeah. Red Knight just pulled out a gun. He's like, they're not taking my gun away. He's
like, this whole arena's a stand your ground. Just
thou shalt not trample on me. What isn't there one that's like crap, I'm gonna forget now. Yep, already forgot. It's immediate. Oh no, the cat of nine tails, like the
9,000 snake type of a thing. Yeah.
No, I don't know if it's at medieval times, but it's a medieval weapon. I just like the midi braided whip. I always thought was kind of cool.
Yeah. I actually love the like from Lord of the Rings or whoever. Like when people, I'd always like the archer guy.
Sure.
You can pull out the arrows and just fling them, like endless supply of arrows.
Yeah.
Flinging them around.
That's my problem with bow and arrow, though, is that like you run out of arrows and then you're like, oh fuck, now what? Like you gotta just punch guys. Like you can't. It's not like you can make an arrow on the fly, or you gotta run up and like pull the arrow out of their body and try to reuse it. And it's all covered in blood and stuff.
Actually, as a kid, like I probably watched something where some guy was shooting arrows really cool. And so then I decided, like, for one Christmas, I wanted a bow and arrow set.
Yeah.
And I got, like, a real bow and arrow set. And it's pretty hard, and it kind of hurts your arm every fucking time you fire it. Like, if you're not good. And I quickly gave up on it.
Was it like pointy arrows, or was it like, cause I had like some suction cup kind of thing?
No, it was
that would be my weapon of choice as medieval times night is Nerf gun.
It's great when they're wearing Velcro.
When I was actually in Bhutan, their national sport is archery, and so we tried like there's two different ways. One is like just the old traditional bow and arrow, which is just your like stick with bow, but then they also have the compound bow that you can do, which has like some advanced mechanism in there.
Right.
Well, it's easier to like line it up and shoot it really far, but like so hard to aim. And I remember trying to do it with a traditional bow and arrow, and the guy's like showing me how to do it, and he's just like firing off bullseyes, and I'm like lining it back and then shooting it straight into the ground. That's the saddest fucking thing.
Your imitation of him was just shooting like 4 arrows. Here's how you do it. Yeah.
Were you getting trained by Hawkeye? Yeah.
He was like jumping off buildings while he was doing it, like firing away from the explosion.
Exploding bears.
We were watching archery at the Olympics, and it was like these guys have like these visors and scopes and like this giant stick hanging off the end and all this gear, and I'm like, they look like cyborgs. This isn't bow and arrow. This isn't archery. This is just like laser guided arrows flying at the targets and hitting like hedgehogs with really strong asses and stuff.
I mean, do you think like the bobsled people should be like going down on just like a piece of cardboard? Like, of course they have like new technology, right? Like,
sure, I don't think the bobsled was ever made of a cardboard. There's a big gap between original bobsled and a piece of cardboard.
The original bobsled was just guys grab moving boxes and like slide down it.
Fearsome Conveyances is a piece of cardboard down a giant icy hill. That's like the technology is killing some competitions. I know someone who fishes a lot, and it was in a fishing competition, and they're just using like radar that shows exactly where the fish are underneath the boat.
Yeah.
They're just like throwing a stick of dynamite in the water, and the fish just land. Catch them in a net.
Though, yes, you can have fish finders, but it doesn't make you catch the fish. Like it's actually like, so we've had fish finders on our boats when we've gone fishing. My grandfather used to have one. It would actually just irritate.
Well, sounds like somebody's getting a little defensive about his fishing.
It's not everything, guys. No, it's actually super irritating when you're like sitting there in the water and you just hear like beep, 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 beep. You're looking, there's like giant school of fish and your like line's just sitting there slack. Like, bite my fucking hook! Like you're just yelling into the water. Like, this is aggravating.
God damn it, fish!
They made a big deal up in Wisconsin. There was and this was a ways back, but there was a big controversy because the Native American population they used to spearfish, right? And they wanted to continue spearfishing, and they didn't want them to. Or there was some big fight over it. But then they came out, they're like these new they're using these like tungsten carbide, like they're like javelins you're like firing into the water to get the fish, and these guys are like, if they want to do it like they used to, they gotta make them out of wood and stuff. It's like, here we go.
He's got like the Gatling gun that fires spears, just boom, 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 boom.
It's like a harpoon like bazooka.
Some guy teaching Chad, just like, here's how you do it.
King Trident. Here it is. Just whipping him in the water. Fish is
and then I take it and I just throw the spear directly into my foot.
You're like the worst fisherman I've ever seen.
All right. I will call it here, but coming up, we're going to have, if you're a jerky man, then make sure, jerky lady, make sure that you come back to hear our couple of episodes where we trying all different kinds of jerkies, some animals that you probably aren't thinking of. And we also are going to be trying insects of the world coming up soon here too, which we are going to push off for as long as humanly possible. But that'll do it for this time. We'll be back next time. We're trying out 3 brand new snacks.
Deuces.
Yep.
Welcome to a magnificent journey into the past. This is medieval times. Are you prepared for a night of feasting and sport, the likes of which you will never forget? Yes! I charge you to stand up and cheer for your section's night. Let the games begin! The blue knight rules! The red knight sucks the big one!